I feel like this is the kind of game you can only make when a guy's dead. Because if Bruce Lee were alive to see this crap wouldn't have happened. Would have been sucked right back up inside Acclaim. For they were the butthole of bad ideas. It's Dragon, the Bruce Lee story! Now I should preface this, probably, by saying I am not a 2D fighter guy. I just mash buttons and hope for the best. Which is also my approach to life in general. And I should also say, I'm positive that I'm playing it the wrong way. In part because I know I have weapons and things I could use, but don't know how. And in part because there's no way anything I've experienced here could be considered by any definition the right way. This is Bruce Lee, one of the worst fighters I've ever seen. I'd go as far as to say it's Bruce Sleazy. Bruce Lease of crap. You know the sad part about those puns? Still more respect for the dead than this game. So, where do we begin? Well, I wish nowhere ever, but let's start with the story mode. Each fight is preempted by some kind of dialogue, a short little scene that sets the stage. Those range from guy wanting to dance with girl starts a fight, to, girl says hi and that starts a fight, to there's a bully in the gym and he starts a fight. So, I guess this is the high school part of Bruce Lee's story. Gym class, the Bruce Lee story, is what this really is. And I'm sure there are more bad cutscenes with awful art that we could sit here and make fun of. But that's as far as I'm gonna go. And that's in part because I'm bad at this game, and in part because it's very freaking hard, and in part because had I gone any further, I would have suffered from brain swelling too. Still more respect for the dead than this game. This game is just completely baffling. It's so unnecessarily difficult. Like, I have to think the developers were just really confused. Either that or they were actually literally just the ghost of Bruce Lee. And he was like, I could take these guys. This is no big deal. Hey, Bruce, I wouldn't expect you to review a bad video game. Just because you're good at something doesn't mean everyone else is. I mean, have you seen some of my reviews? They're ridiculous. The irony being that this game is also ridiculous. Like this stage, it just gets bored halfway through by its own gameplay, and then it decides, hey, let's make this poor bastard fight two guys at once. Yeah, thanks, Dragon, the Bruce Lee story. Spoiler alert, what goes around comes around. Acclaim. Now, obviously, part of the game's ruthless difficulty comes from the fact that I am ruthlessly terrible at it. I'm sure if I were better, this would be better. I also suspect that improvement would be marginal. Like a guy who's eating a tire and realizes it might be better with a pinch of salt. Yeah, can't even measure the amount of salt this would take. It's beyond cups, even. At this point, they just call it a heart disease. Hey, recipe says this game calls for 1 heart disease of salt. And it feels like your opponents have heart disease too, because they're fighting for their lives. They come back from just about everything you throw at them, and then they kick your ass. They are the worst, they're real jerks. You can also build up a chi meter, which permits for weapons, but in the same way Einstein's theory of relativity permits for time dilation. It sounds good, makes for some interesting movies. Freaking Sci-Fi Network. But I gotta tell you, as craptastic as this story mode is, the one-on-one fights are even worse. I don't even know how that happens. Because no matter what, it's like, you're always Bruce Lee, and you're always fighting Bruce Lee. You don't have a choice in the matter. It's almost like when they sat down to start designing other characters for this game, Bruce Lee's estate actually stepped in and said, listen, you guys have done enough. Why don't you take a breather? Everyone's Bruce, which is admirable. Although it makes you wonder why they didn't step in earlier. Even if you can figure out these crappy controls and deal with this insane difficulty, there's still not much of a game here. And it's actually worse with friends, which is literally something I thought was impossible for a video game ever to achieve. And yet here we are, getting tag teamed by 2 dudes with butcher knives. Phrasing, this is great, Acclaim. It's Dragon, the Bruce Lee story. One of the worst Genesis fighters I've ever played. So obviously, big thanks to Terrell from Kingstree, South Carolina, for bestowing this upon us. This is great, Terrell! Trogdor. That's the dragon I want to play.